How are you doing, everyone? I am the YuGiOh Scrub, but you all can call me Bailey. And would it really be a YuGiOh Scrub video if I didn't apologize at the beginning for my terrible audio issues? I opened up OBS on Friday, recorded 2 videos that I could post Saturday and Sunday, didn't change anything from the previous recording session. Of course, you guys were telling me that I had no audio, it was just the music, no microphone. I go and I look at my settings. Somehow it is now defaulted to the default microphone on my computer, which is no microphone. I have a Yeti. Don't know why it changed. My apologies. We should be good now. I made those videos private because I didn't want to put up something that was just no commentary. That's not what I wanted to do. But I did want to quickly show off the deck that I was playing Sunday. You guys never saw the video, but it was pretty cool. It was a deck. The cat is now in a basket. It was a Chusuke the Mouse Fighter lockdown final countdown deck against a last turn, kind of janky last turn. It wasn't as good as I like to build my last turn decks, but it was battle of the alt win conditions, and I thought it was really, really funny. But we had the Chusuke, which works with Lone Wolf, so you're basically trying to make it a lock where you have one of these 2 monsters in defense with a Lone Wolf attached with a skill drain so they can't summon a Chaos monster and banish it, and then a bunch of protection spells and traps, the Judgments, the Jammers, and the Fake Trap to make sure Lone Wolf and skill drain don't get destroyed, and you sit on that with Final Countdown. The only things that can stop it are like Ring of Destruction and Torrential Tribute, so maybe I should put in some 7 Tools of the Bandits. And then, of course, Outstanding Dogmare, and so I don't deck out myself, because, I mean, how can you not run this guy if you have an opportunity to in a deck? But we're not playing this deck today. It was very, very boring to play, not a video I feel like making. Today, it is MLK Day for all of you Americans here, Civil Rights Hero, and so we are playing with the deck that combines everyone together, the Earth, Wind, Light, Fire, Water, and Dark, except now that I think about it, Doriado is not dark, which is like the opposite of what MLK wanted. Yeah, but we've committed to this video, so this we're playing. We have dark monsters, right? We got the Sangans, we have the Gravekeeper Spy, we got the Kaikus. Let's talk about the deck, though. We're running the Doriado, which basically is just all of the attributes except dark on the field at the same time. So light, and then water, earth, wind, water, earth, wind, fire. That's the one I'm missing. And so yeah, then it works with the Furin Kazan. That's the whole point of this deck, is basically put a Doriado on the board and then Furin Kazan, which can be a Regeki, a Harpy's Feather Duster, a better Delinquent Duo because it's 2 random cards, not 1 random, and then 1 that your opponent picks, and a Pot of Greed. It can draw 2, discard 2 from your opponent's hand, destroy all spells and traps, or destroy all monsters. Just a really, really powerful card. But obviously it only really works in the Doriado deck. 3 man juice because he has 10,000 hands that he can, put a fist up for MLK. Even though that was more Malcolm X. But regardless, he can put 10,000 hands up for MLK. So Manju with 10,000 hands can also search for the Doriado or in the Chaos Monsters, BLS and Chaos Sork. 2 Tsukiyomis because if we can put a Manju on the field and then it doesn't die, we can summon Suk and get up more pluses because this also gets its effect on Flip Summon. If we're running the 2 Suk, I like the Scapegoat Metamorphosis engine because 1,000 dives restrict, while Suk is just a great card. Gravekeeper Spy, Sangan, Sinister Serpent, Breaker, Tribe-Infecting Virus, and Kaiku, just because I wanted some more darks, and I think Kaiku, it's a good card. It's kind of putting a fist up for MLK, and it can destroy his ghost, I suppose. Kaiku, the Ghost Destroyer. Would you want to destroy, if you destroy a ghost, does it become resting in peace? Because I feel like a ghost isn't peaceful. Peace is heaven, not, down on earth haunting people. So I feel like Kaiku can, send them to the banished zone, and then that's heaven? It's banishment heaven? Okay. We've rambled enough. Pot of Greed, Graceful Delinquent Duo, Premature Burial, Snatch Steal, more spells, and that's the deck. Let's go ahead and join the GOAT format ladder. Click this button for your viewing pleasure, and hope that everyone is having a fantastic day today. If not, go and make it a fantastic day, and then come back and finish this video for me. Please and thank you. I think I'm at 500, nearly 575 subscribers right now. My goal is 1,000 by the end of the year. Consider hitting that button for me. It would mean the world. It would make me oh so happy. Opening hand is Pot of Greed, Tsukiyomi, Heavy Storm, Doriado's Blessing, Nobleman of Crossout, and Chaos Sorker. So we're gonna start with a Pot of Greed, get Breaker, Scapegoat. And I think we'll just go ahead. We'll set Heavy and Scapegoat. baiting out a heavy. If he heavies, we can scapegoat. If he heavies, then we just trade heavies, basically. And I get 4 tokens. Delinquent Duo. Unfortunate, but fine. Hitting our Nobleman a cross out. I think we'll get rid of Doriado's Blessing. Unfortunately, it shows him what we're playing, but it's just the worst card by a long shot. Breaker, Sook, and Chaos Orc can all actually do something. Doriado are waiting for Furin Kazan and a Doriado. So that's why we just get rid of that. Alright. Opponent sets a back row and a monster. End phase. We'll summon some goat tokens. And we get a Tribe Infecting Virus. Maybe Torrential. So Ring of Destruction, we'll eat 1600 anyways. Okay, and I think we'll just end our turn there. No point in doing anything further. Let's have a sip of coffee. Pardon the little slurp, it's too full right now to pour into my mouth. Alright, he flips Gravekeeper Spy, so he's going to be able to get rid of a bunch of our tokens right now. Goes to battle, gets rid of 2 tokens. Sets another monster and a back row and end phase. Then we draw another Doriado's Blessing. I was thinking about cutting it down to 2, but I just really want to see it as much as possible. I'm kind of a modern deck builder in that sense, where he Book of Moons, that is unfortunate. We will take 400. See if he wants to use the effect. He is going to use the Gravekeeper Spy effect. Summons another spy. Main phase 2. We'll just declare and pop all of the spies. I'll just take that quick little plus. And we'll end our turn there. We have a Dark and a Grave, no light, so the Chaos Sorcerer is still dead. He has, I was about to say 4 cards, but now he has 5, plus the 1 on field. We have basically 3. I mean, we have 2 tokens, but that's not as good. And now he has Magician of Faith. Getting back Duo, I don't know. I would have maybe gotten the Pot of Greed. But he duos. He has does have a light and a dark in hand. He does have the Thunder Dragons. That's right. That's how he got a bunch of cards. Is he going to summon BLS? That is a BLS. We'll take 1400. Snatch Steal would be game. Metamorphosis, Ring of Destruction. We'll set the ring and end. Does he banish more? He's looking. View in the graveyard. And I have to Ring of Destruction the Thunder Dragon, hoping that we draw a Snatch Steal here. Nope, we draw Furin Kazan. That is game. Okay. Let's bring in some Dust Shoots. Take out one spy. I want to keep the Doriados. Maybe one Tsukiyomi. Kaiku's good. Maybe Sangan. We're just bringing 2 dust shoots. Let's bring in 2 dust shoots. Okay. I really should go and get my TCG player link, because I realize I have, since I started recording back in October again, my TCG player affiliate link, and then it's not in the actual description, because I kind of stopped caring about it, in all honesty, and it's not like it was making me much money. Not that that was like the end goal, but you know, obviously that is why I put it there, because it is a link that could help make me money. But I just don't play with real cards anyways, and I'm sure most of you probably do. Maybe you don't. Maybe more of you are like me than I realize, and just have quit the game in person for the most part, just because, I don't know, it's a lot of effort to go. The community is great. When I did go to some locals back in the day, around 2014, it was very fun, I won't lie. But I just couldn't justify back in that time spending all the money to stay up to date with the card game. Go format. Well, also, some of the best things about the older formats is you just get the cards and you know that it's never going to change. That is a plus. I think we'll go ahead and just try to summon the Kaiku and attack over this. He mirror forces. That's fine-ish. I really wish that Scapegoat went through. He Jar of Greeds in the end phase. The Scapegoat would have been great to have a Metamorphosis, and now he has Pot of Greed, so 5 cards to 5 cards. And he has Heavy Storm. Lovely. Setting up monster and a back row, going to battle. I'll eat 1600 damage. I draw Chaos Sorcerer. We can get the Doriado's Blessing. Now, it could be Torrential, could be Ring, but I could Doriado's Blessing, summoning Doriado by pitching Doriado. That would put a light and gray for the Chaos Orc, but I'm just putting so many cards on field. We'll go ahead and just try to attack this monster. It's a spy. Nope, it's a Sinister Serpent. We'll end our turn. That back row's just scaring me. Of course, I knew he was going to draw the Delinquent Duo. But now Chaos Orc is live. So it's not the end of the world. Hey, 1600 damage. Draw Graceful Charity. Let's activate the Graceful. He Judgments. That's fine by me. Banish Doriado and Kaiku. Unfortunately, it's not a BLS. But I am going to banish the tribe so we can't potentially get Premature Burial and bring the tribe back and then pop the Chaos Orc that way. We draw Torrential. Let's go ahead swing for some damage, set Torrential just in case things get out of hand. But we have a good life point advantage now. He is getting the Sinister Serpent that he should have gotten back last turn. Sets a back row. It just ends. Okay, well, obviously we have to attack. We have to put pressure. Phoenix Wing. Kind of makes sense why he would set the Phoenix Wing and keep Sinister Serpent in hand. I figured there was going to be some back row that could stop me, but not necessarily the Phoenix Wing, though I'm fine with that, because now if we draw another Dark, I hope he sets the Sinister Serpent, now that we have Nobleman in our hand. No, he goes to battle and just summons Sinister Serpent. We can survive one turn more, at least, just taking the Sinister Serpent attack. I could Doriado's Blessing, pitch Chaos Sorcerer, summon Doriado, but I don't think that's the best play. Probably gonna take the Chaos Sorcerer from her hand. That is exactly what he does, but he wanted to take a minute to figure it out. And I think we'll just end our turn, because we really can't do much else. If he wants to summon, let's we'll torrential that summon. I don't want to take that much damage. That's a 2-turn clock. We draw MST. We'll set the MST and end. He gets back Sinister Serpent from his graveyard. Summons Dekoichi. And we get Trap Dust Shoot. So, unfortunately, just not drawing any monsters. No scapegoats, nothing. GG's. Did he say anything? Nope, he left. Okay. Join another match. I want to at least activate one Furin Kazan. I feel like we can't end this video until we get it off one time. At the very least. It's still so good. If you get more than one, ooh, that's the best. Well, we have an opening hand. We have quite the opening hand, if we're being honest. Opponent sets a back row, 2 back row, and ends his turn. We draw Scapegoat. We'll start with Delinquent Duo. Hitting Gravekeeper's Spy and Chaos Sork. Next, let's Pot of Greed. Getting Metamorphosis and Breaker. Let's summon the Breaker. It's laggy. Maybe he's activating something. So we 1600. And we'll set Scapegoat and end. This is a fantastic opening hand. Like, absolutely incredible. We have Scapegoat meta. We have our Doriados. is Jar of Greed. Yes, Jar of Greed is fine. I suppose it could be Royal Decree. Most people wouldn't negate a Jar of Greed, but... do I? I will. Just protect my life points. Summon 4 tokens, only summon 3 because he just pops 1 by attacking it. And he sets a back row. Discarding Thunder Dragon to search himself some more Thunder Dragons. He now does have lights and darks in the graveyard. And we draw Graceful Charity. Let's go ahead and normal summon Manju. Getting ourselves Doriado. I like having more monsters than the spells in my hand, because we can potentially send them to the graveyard for chaos monsters. And we will discard 1 Doriado's Blessing and 1 Doriado. And now just go straight to battle and attack over the Sangan with Manju. And he only loses 400, taking 1400, gaining 1000. And Sangan will likely search him, I don't know, maybe Sinister Serpent? My guess is going to be Sinister Serpent or like a Dakoichi. Maybe a Spy, because then it can wall the Manju. Nope, gets a Magician of Faith. And we'll end our turn there. So he's got to have a spell. I mean, Magician of Faith, he has lights already, so he doesn't need the light. I'm going to summon the Kaiku. If he has Torrential, he'd be Torrentialing his own monster. I'll set Mirror Force, just in case he has something cheeky going on. We do take 600 damage from the attack of Manju into Gravekeeper Spy. I could have potentially just guessed that that wasn't the Faith. I mean, there was no chance it could have been. He now has Heavy Storm, gets rid of my Mirror Force. I thought it might be a pro set heavy too. I know I'm thinking it, but I don't say it. I promise I did think it. Summon Tsukiyomi, sets Kaiku, and then beats over the Kaiku with Tsukiyomi. So he just takes his plus. We draw Manju ourselves. We're just going to end the turn. I can't get over those spies. They are very good walls right now. I don't want to waste a Metamorphosis on a spy that can't even then get over the other spy. If I drew a Tsukiyomi, maybe I would, because I could slowly get rid of them both in 2 turns. But he just goes ahead, summons the Tsukiyomi, sets a Manju, and he does look like he's going to beat over tokens and the Manju, which is exactly what he does. Sets a back row. End phase. Brings Tsukiyomi back to hand. We draw Doriado. Let's go ahead. Summon Manju. Getting the final spell, trap, and monster, so our deck is completely thinned of our rituals now. And I do think I'm just going to try to attack into the Gravekeeper Spy. And maybe I'll set one Doriado's Blessing just as a bluff. He summons Breaker. Breaker will pop the back row. And he just goes to battle and beats over the Manju for 200 damage. We draw Sangan. We'll start by just setting the Spy. It could get Nobleman. I think it's going to get Nobleman. We haven't seen a Nobleman yet. Maybe I should have summoned Sangan. He has Pot of Greed. I could have summoned Sangan, Doriado's Blessing, but then Doriado would be on field. I don't have a Furin Kazan. I want a Furin Kazan. But Sangan getting a Sinister Serpent would have been really nice, because that's going to be the best way to activate Metamorphosis at the moment. Probably should have summoned Sangan. He brings the Gravekeeper Spy to defense. And Spy will get us a Spy. And technically we now have the life point lead, because he gave us 1,000, so we're at 56 to his 54. We get another Metamorphosis. We'll set the Sangan. Maybe it's going to get Nobleman. I hope not. That's probably a Magician of Faith, which will get back likely the Pot of Greed. We know he still has 2 Thunder Dragon in hand. Yep, Pot of Greed. We'll get him 2 more draws, in case he didn't know what Pot of Greed does. Gotta love that joke. Will never get old. I activate Pot of Greed, which lets me draw 2 cards from my deck. Why is Yu-Gi-Oh! The greatest anime ever made? Attack on Titan who? YuGiOh! Alright, he pops Sangan with Regeki Break, discarding Night Assailant. We will search ourselves the Sinister Serpent. He gets a Gravekeeper Spy back to his hand, which, I mean, it's a plus. Makes the Regeki Break a 1-for-1 rather than a 2-for-1. Summoning Tsukiyomi, flipping the Magician of Faith, but he can't get over anything unless he summons a Chaos Monster. And he just goes to end phase. Discarding a Thunder Dragon from his hand. We get the Nobleman a Crossout, which is absolutely perfect for us. We have none in our deck. And we'll set Sinister Serpent, send it to grave, because we have 2 Metamorphosis. we will take the Gravekeeper's Spy. Getting that off of the board just makes me feel better. And his monsters can't attack. Sinister Serpent we can get back next turn. He can get over it with the Tsukiyomi now that I think about it. That's just fine. But we get that Gravekeeper's Spy that's just been bothering us off the board. Though he has another in his hand. So, and that wasn't the best play. But we had 2 Metamorphosis. I just felt like forcing something out. I don't know. Knowing he has the Tsukiyomi certainly makes that play worse. I wasn't thinking about it because I don't think. I just act. You gotta follow your instincts. Heart of the cards. I just noticed that my opponent's name is Teabag Senpai, except it's T-E-E. The names you get are pretty interesting. Tsukiyomi sets the 1,000 dies restrict. Battle phase beats over the 1,000 dies restrict. And then main phase 2, he sets a back row. Heavy Storm isn't gone yet. End phase, bring back Tsukiyomi, and what does he discard from his hand? The last Thunder Dragon. We get a Snatch Steel. I think we're just going to end our turn. No need to go too crazy. I want him to summon a Chaos Monster before I Metamorphosis and take it, or Snatch Steel. I'm comfortable just sitting on the spies right now. I don't think it's going to get to a deck out situation, but it's getting closer. The fact that we haven't seen a single Furin Kazen, though, in the top 23 cards of our deck. We're going to start drawing them all, and maybe I'll just wait until I get 2? Who knows? Video right now is 32 minutes, almost 33 minutes long. It's getting up there. Opponent sets 1 monster and ends. There's a Furin Kazen. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to be somewhat aggressive. We'll set Sinister Serpent, activate Metamorphosis. We will take the Breaker, making this 1,600, 1,000. Then we will activate Doriado's Blessing. Pitching Doriado to special Doriado. And we'll summon her in defense. And we'll set Furin Kazen and end. But this can blow up all of his monsters. So if he tries to summon, and he Regeki breaks, hitting the back row. Unfortunate. He could have, I think, gotten back a flip. That can be a Gravekeeper's Spy. He can't flip the 1,000 dies with 1,000 dies restrict on the field, though. But he does get rid of it via the battle from Tsukiyomi. effect and battle. Maybe Furin Kazan this turn? He sets another monster and a back row. And Tsukiyomi will go to his hand. We draw a Ring of Destruction. We'll just set the ring. Oh, we've also gotten back Sinister Serpent. Not a big deal, but I don't think I would have said it. I'm afraid of it getting noblemaned. He activates Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed that he gets back with Magician of Faith. Just skipping the step, declaring it while it's in graveyard. I don't know why. It looked like he drew 3 cards. Nope, he just drew 2. I prefer this copy of Ring of Destruction than the other one. The flames just look cool. Maybe it's because what I used to see more often. He does banish for a Chaos Monster. We get Furin Kazan. I feel like we're in an okay position. Haven't seen Torrential yet. There's Tsukiyomi. I'm gonna let that go through. I don't necessarily care about... Like, at this point he has the card advantage. Another Pot of Greed, really. What is that? If anything, it's letting him deck out a little bit faster, if we get to that point. He sets more back row. Get Torrential Tribute. We'll take the Chaos Sorcerer, if he allows it. Declare and banish itself. And just end our turn. We still have a solid board of defense at the moment. Ring of Destruction can get rid of whatever Chaos Monster if he tries to summon a BLS or something to start poking through these monsters. And then once he gets through these monsters, we can set Torrential Tribute. Jar of Greed. So he has 5 cards in deck. Although I don't think it's very likely, deck out is probably our best case win condition at the moment. Though we still have not activated a Furin Kazan. Prio. Alright, so he does activate Prio, obviously. Both Spy and Doriado and Faith are spellcasters, so they will go to grave. Obviously, if he hadn't activated with Prio, I would have Ring of Destruction, the Tribe-Infecting Virus. But since he did activate with Prio, which he should do, that's by far the better play, I will keep the Ring of Destruction, just in case he tries to summon a Chaos Monster. He sets another back row and ends. We draw our own Chaos Sorcerer. Let's go ahead, banish a light and a dark, even though we should have gotten back the Serpent. Unless he has a Judgment. Okay, he does have Judgment. We'll set Torrential Tribute and end. So if he tries to summon a BLS, then we can win with Ring of Destruction, unless he has another Judgment, of course. He tributes Spy for Jinzo, and that's going to be game. Jinzo's just too powerful. Can't activate Ring or Torrential Tribute. In response, I suppose I could have a Judgment of my own. We'll just wait to see. I mean, maybe this next draw is something. Maybe it's the BLS. Nope, it's a Furin Kazan. Alright. Bringing Dust Shoots over a couple of these cards. Looking at my side deck, I realize I really don't have too much for Chaos, but this deck is just meant to be MLK's Dream. That's what I really should have named it, MLK's Dream. I also still think it's messed up that Doriado is everything except dark. And, like, I promise, I was just like, what would be kind of funny deck? And, like, not even funny, but, like, what could represent MLK, you know, just to do something a little silly. And I was like, well, what about a deck that, like, mixes everything together? Has a society that is not segregated. And I was like, okay, well, like, Doriado's whole point is, like, it's everything all at once. And then I was like, wait a second, as I started recording, like, it's everything except dark. Gosh. I'm horrible. Alright, opening hands, though. Here we go. This is what we like to see. We can summon Manju of 10,000 hands. Getting ourselves Doriado. We can activate Doriado's Blessing. Pitching Doriado for Doriado. And summon Furin Kazan. I'm going to let him play a little bit before I Furin Kazan. Maybe sets a bunch of back row. He upstarts. Maybe he leaves a couple cards in hand. Maybe he tries to MST or Heavy Storm, and I can chain Furin Kazan. Because it's a trap and chainable. It's powerful that way. He goes ahead, and we will destroy spell / trap. So it hits a Nobleman and a Torrential. That's fine. I'll take the plus. We will Nobleman. Hitting a Gravekeeper's Spy. They'll get the spies out of our deck as well. And we'll just attack. So 4 cards to 4 cards. We draw Tribe Infecting Virus. We'll summon the Tribe. Attack the monster. It's a Gravekeeper Spy. We'll take 600, or no, 400. And I do think we'll declare. Unfortunately, Doriado will go to the graveyard, but we need to get that spy off the field. I maybe could have waited, see if he attacks over the Doriado this turn, but just get it off the field. He does have just a dark, no light, and grave yet. I also didn't want to give him tribute fodder, potentially, for a Jinzo. He sets a monster. And a back row. We draw Trap Dust Shoot. Let's go ahead, attack the monster. Sinister Serpent. Attack with the Manju. We'll set Dust Shoot. And I will Dust Shoot at Resolution of Sinister Serpent. And I think seeing the Thunder Dragon will take the Chaos Orc because I don't want him pitching Thunder Dragon. Jinzo T Drag. Yeah, because he could pitch the Sinister Serpent, summon the Chaos Orc, take a plus, tribute it. Like, there's too much he can do with the Chaos Orc in hand. He thins his deck of a couple Thunder Dragons, but right now all he can do is set the Sinister Serpent. I would like to draw some Scapegoat and Metamorphoses. Those would be pretty good. Maybe a Premature Burial, so if he does manage to summon the Jinzo, we have a Tribe Infecting Virus. But I think I'm going to avoid setting Torrential Tribute. We know that is Sinister Serpent. There's the Scapegoat I wanted. And we'll attack directly for 16. So he has T-Dragon, Jinzo, Serpent, not T. Serp gets added. Not Dragon. All good. LOL. Yeah, no, I'm just laughing. That's funny. I get it. You know, you're just kind of going faster. Like, yep, let's get out of back. But yeah, no, Serpent gets given to your hand, not T-Dragon. So he does get rid of the Scapegoat that we just drew, but unfortunately, and he drew the Sinister Serpent. I just want to make sure. He banishes. He did shuffle his deck. Yeah, because he used the Thunder Dragons, so he had to have shuffled. It just, to me, that seemed very insane that he drew, but I don't know, maybe he's running 3. We draw another Trap Dust Shoot. Let's just attack over. We'll chain Trap Dust Shoot just because we know it's there. I was thinking maybe he would add the Sinister Serpent back. We'll take Jinzo. So he has Chaos Orc, Thunder Dragon, Ring of Destruction. And that's the ring. We draw Premature Burial, which can get us back. We will obviously just get back Sinister Serpent, set Sinister, and end. Forgot that we had the Sinister Serpent in our graveyard. Serpent goes to grave after it gets attacked over by the Chaos Sorcerer. We draw Heavy Storm. We can set Heavy and put the Sinister Serpent on the field. Just trying to stall right now. Maybe he tributes for the Jinzo because we put a trap on the field. A spell/trap. That's fine. He has Pot of Greed, giving him more pluses. The dog just snored. Such a hard life for her. She slept all day, and now she has to sleep even more. I had to shovel a path for her this morning because she's so small that the snow that we got overnight was too tall. Like, it was like up to her belly. I took her out this morning to pee, and, you know, she could barely walk. I mean, it was fluffy snow, so she could get right through, but I felt bad. She must be so cold. I have clothes that I get to put on. She doesn't. And we will set trap dust chute. We'll activate the dust chute. Taking the Tsukiyomi. So snatch, steal, jar of greed. But that keeps our life points higher. Attacks over the Sinister Serpent. Get Furin Kazan. We can premature burial. Let's go ahead. Activate Heavy Storm. Hit a Call the Haunted. We're gonna get Delinquent Duo, I have a feeling. But we'll set the Sinister Serpent, and I was thinking of Premature Barreling, get the Furin Kazan, but the problem I have with that is we could discard cards from his hand, we could draw more, like, really, we just need to get this Chaos Sorcerer off the field. We need to get some board presence. He does just go to battle and beat over the Sinister Serpent. And we can Premature Burial the Virtual Monster because it was special summoned properly. I believe that's how it worked. I believe it's like a Synchro Monster. Or a Fusion. Like, you can't Premature Burial back a Fusion summoned off of Metamorphosis, but since we did it properly, standby. Let's get back Sinister Serpent. What am I thinking? We'll activate. Target the Doriado. Set Furin Kazan. We'll set them all. Destroy spell/trap. It was a snatch steal, and then we can ring the sorcerer for game. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't a judgment. That's the only reason you would do the Furin Kazan in advance. But we won a game, so we're just gonna go right back into it. I mean, it worked. I just can't really say anything else. The dust shoots were good. Yeah, we're gonna keep them in. I don't love them as much going second, but they are just good. He's running enough Chaos Turbo stuff. Jar of Greeds, you know, pot. He has all the pots, you know, like everything that can get him back to 4 cards in hand. Scapegoat, Nobleman, Metamorphosis, Heavy Storm, Trap, Dust Shoot. I'm not gonna Hopefully hits 1, 4. Hits Nobleman, and we'll get rid of Trap Dust Shoot. All I needed there was the Scapegoat and Metamorphosis to make me feel better. I hope he sets a couple of back row. Sets 1 monster and 1 back row. We draw Manju. We'll summon Manju. And get ourselves, get ourselves dealing with Duo. We'll go Doriado. If he does end up delinquent duoing, because I'm thinking this is a Magician of Faith or Spy. It was the Faith. So, we'll go ahead and set our hand. If he has heavy, he has heavy. But I either lose Metamorphosis or I lose the Scapegoat. Like, the Scapegoat meta is the only thing keeping me in my mind kind of protected right now. So he does beat over the Manju with Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi is unfortunate given the fact that we know he has it in hand. We'll set the other Scapegoat just so we don't get it delinquent duo. Maybe I should have left it in hand since we already have one. Just get the duo out of his hand. He sets a monster and sets a back row. End phase, we deal Scapegoat. We get Doriado's Blessing. I think I start by metamorphosing. He does Judgment, so I wanted to bait the Judgment. Next, I activate Doriado's Blessing. Special summoning Doriado. And I attack this monster. It's a Spy. No Furin Kazan, unfortunately. But if he wants to beat it over the Doriado, I imagine he has a monster with more than 1400 attack. You could summon it to Koichi, a Breaker. Breaker would be the worst. But this also lets my board be empty, so I can actually get some value from the second Scapegoat. He tributes for Jinzo. Metamorphosis next turn would... Okay, maybe not. We might just get BLS'd here. Chaos Orc. Does he use the effect or does he attack? He attacks, making me eat 1100. And I'll keep my life points somewhat higher by just summoning some tokens. We draw the Snatch Steal. That is exactly what we would have needed. So we'll start with Heavy Storm. And then we'll activate Snatch Steal, taking YuGiOh. Not that I really need to remind myself where the Snatch Steal is, but I will just put it underneath the YuGiOh and we'll beat over Chaos Orc. Taking YuGiOh instead of the Chaos Orc just because I want the biggest monster. Also, it stops traps. So now he can't have a Mirror Force, can't have a Ring of Destruction, any of that jazz. He has no Light Engrave, so no banishing. The unfortunate thing about the Snatch Steal right now is it's giving him life points. There's Tribe. So he gets rid of my tokens. He could just activate the Tribe again, which he does. I would have maybe swapped the Gravekeeper Spy to attack. We draw Ring of Destruction. We'll set the Ring of Destruction. Battle. We'll ring the Tribe Infecting Virus. We just can't go too low a life points. We still technically have the lead. We draw Mirror Force. We'll set it and end. Has a Sangan. We will Mirror Force. I don't want to lose the life points. I know that sounds so stupid, because I'm just giving him a plus 1-for-1 with the Sangan and Mirror Force, and then he gets a search with the Sangan, but I feel like I have to. Because if I start going to, like, he would just keep poking for 1,000 every turn, and eventually I would have to Mirror Force. Rather than Mirror Forcing in 2 turns, let me just Mirror Force now. Get a Manju. We'll summon Manju. Get Doriado. And beat over what I suspected was the Sinister Serpent. He has Pot of Greed. Did not add back the Sinister Serpent. Now discards Thunder Dragon to get himself another plus with 2 Thunder Dragons, I assume. That is exactly what happens. So he has 21 cards in deck to my 26. Decking out is almost certainly not an option. There's a Kaiku. That's gonna pretty much be game. Stopping me from summoning any Chaos monsters. Yep, he gets rid of my light. Well, maybe not. We have to try to beat over the Kaiku. And then pop this back row in main phase 2. It's a Nobleman. So Breaker was like the one draw that we could get right there. That worked out very well in our favor. But there's a Snatch Steal. Yeah, I mean, that's game. He just swaps the Gravekeeper Spy to attack. GG's. What was the next draw? Graceful. Meta. Spy. Delinquent 2. Okay, so Graceful would have been good. We probably would have discarded Meta. Like Doriado and Duo. Probably Doriado and Duo, just we are low in life points at the Spy, and maybe could have survived some turns, but not how the cookie crumbles. Here's the deck. Changes I would make. Not playing the Doriados and Furin Kazens and just playing a regular Chaos deck. That's the changes I would make. But it's an interesting card. like I always say, there's no other card that does what it does in GOAT format. But genuinely, there is no other card that does what Doriado does. And the Furin Kazan, like, that is a cool combo. Imagine just being able to play 4 banned or limited spells traps in one card. Yeah, you know, that's what Furin Kazan is. It is a banned card, in Regeki and Harpy's Feather Duster, and then should be a banned card because Delinquent Duo, especially when if Delinquent Duo was just 2 random cards, oh my god, it'd be so much more broken. And then Pot of Greed, so 2 cards at 1 and then 2 banned cards, and you're just playing 3 of them in your deck. Of course, it's not as good because you need a Doriado, but like, you know, it's a cool combo. Let me know what you guys think of the deck, what changes you might make. Let me know what you want me to play in the future. There's some stuff I'm brewing. A Red Eyes deck, a Blue Eyes deck. I have them. I'm probably going to record some of them today. We'll see. Let me know what you want me to play in the future, though. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.